There's a certain quiet that settles over the hollow before a storm. Not silence, just waiting. My grandmother never checked a forecast a day in her life. Didn't need to. She'd step out on the porch, squint toward the ridge and say, "It's fixin' to rain." And she was almost always right. Here's how she knew. She'd point toward the trees and say, "Look at 'em, turning their petticoats to the rain." Up in the Appalachian mountains, maples and poplars carry pale undersides. When a front pushes in, wind shifts first, gusty, unsettled. It rolls under the canopy and flips the leaves over. Whole hillsides go from deep green to shimmering silver gray. That's when she'd tell us to bring the quilts off the line. If we passed a pasture and the whole herd was settled flat, she'd nod. Rain's coming, they know it. Cattle feel pressure changes long before we do. Falling air pressure often makes them restless, or makes them conserve energy before rough weather moves through. Grandma didn't call it barometric pressure. She called it common sense. On clear nights, she'd step outside, apron still on, and look up. If there was a halo around the moon, she'd say, "That's tomorrow's rain hanging up there." That glowing ring forms when high ice crystal clouds drift ahead of a widespread storm system. To her, it wasn't science. It was a warning lantern. Summer evenings in the hills are loud, crickets sawing, frogs calling from the creek. But sometimes, just before a hard storm, it all goes still. She'd tilt her head and whisper, "The wood's done hushed." Rapid pressure changes and heavy air can throw off insects and frogs. Their rhythm shifts or stops. And when the woods go quiet, you listen. On cool mornings, she'd watch the chimney. If the smoke climbed straight up, fair weather. If it flattened out or sank into the valley, air's heavy, storm settling in. Low pressure keeps smoke from rising clean, but to her, it looked like the sky pressing down on the hills. Now here's what I've come to understand. None of it was magic. It was attention. Generations of mountain folks living close to land, livestock, and sky, watching patterns, remembering them, passing them down in phrases you could carry in your pocket. The leaves are turning their petticoats. That one still gets me, because when the hills shift color and the wind moves uneasy through the trees, it really does feel like the mountains are getting ready. And if you're quiet enough, they'll tell you what's coming.